Hey everybody, it's Raven, and I'm back from my brief, luxurious stint at the local hospital for two nights, 3 days. Yeah, that wasn't very fun. Unfortunately, it was life. It happens. What can I say? This is the second recording I'm doing, I guess. Or second, first audio only recording since I got back. Sorry if I sound a little out of it. Doc ordered a lot of rest, so I've been sleeping for like the last 2 days. I got back Monday evening, and it is now Wednesday morning, so yeah. Bear with me if I'm a little out of it today. It is what it is, but I want to get back into doing videos and stuff. It's one of those things, like, I really enjoy doing this stuff, and I really hope you guys enjoy watching. Yeah. Anyway, so this is Acula build 2. Basically, we're picking up from where we left off last time, and right now I'm sticking on the wing pods, trying to figure out where they need to go. I've always, I learned a long time ago, I was given some advice by Delmont actually, which was essentially, don't be afraid to delete stuff, ever. Never be afraid to delete all of your work if you need to. And so, that's one of the things, I mean, in this case I haven't had to do that. I kind of had an idea and I went with it, and it all sort of lined up. I got lucky. Unfortunately, the detailing, and you might see a little bit of that in here, needs a lot of reworking and all, because I didn't do any detailing while I was working, like here, and I should have been. Unfortunately, it is what it is. That's one of my problems, is when I have a complete shell, I tend to fall behind on the detailing if I do a full shell. So, what are you gonna do, I guess? Anyway, we'll get to that on the next episode of this thing. Anyway, so here's where we're putting in the missile pod shell, and fucking around a lot. A lot of this is going to be wedging, so I might just talk about something completely random for a little while and turn this into like a semi-rants episode. Who knows? But yeah, so we're just kind of adding on a whole bunch of the little blocks and we're essentially trying to turn this thing from a wireframe into a shell. And there's a lot of wireframe elements still left on it, but we're trying to get stuff done, get a little bit of wedging in, get a little bit more just generally on the ship. Anyway, so yeah, while I was in the hospital, I actually I got stuck. I couldn't eat or drink anything for 2 days. Actually, a little bit closer to 50 hours that I couldn't eat, if not a little bit more. But I wasn't allowed liquids or anything like that. And I understand why. They thought it was appendicitis. Thankfully it wasn't. I didn't require surgery, which was lucky. But I did have to stay there just in case, because it could have gotten really bad. So, it was one of those things where they really didn't know what was going on. I didn't really know what was going on. All I knew that it was that it hurt. So, what are you going to do? But one thing that, how can I say this? I guess this is going to be a tutorial on how to be a good patient when you're in the hospital, if you're ever there, and God forbid you're ever there. But if you do end up having to go, there are certain things you got to remember. You're not the only one there, so you try not to bug other patients, be loud or anything like that. I mean, if you're in pain, you're in pain. That's a different story, right? But if you're not in pain, don't be stupid and be loud. I mean, come on, let other people sleep. Some people usually have different schedules. So, like for instance me, I'm usually awake at night, and so during the day is when I usually sleep, and I continued to do that there for the most part, although it still kind of screwed my sleep schedule a little bit. The other thing is, don't be a bitch to the nurses. They will make your life a living hell. I know. My mom's a nurse, so growing up trying to fake sick, it never really worked. I tried. I won't lie. I did try. I think all kids do, but Yeah, it never actually worked that well. And it's one of those things. It's like you got to remember, the nurses. Well, they're not necessarily in pain, although you don't necessarily know that. You don't know what's going on in their lives. They're not there as patients, but you're there. You have to deal with yourself. You have to, keep yourself good. They have to keep you and everybody else on the floor okay. That's kind of rough. That's harder than you might think. And I know because I've done the job. So, just try to be courteous to people. And that's true in all walks of life and all times. Just try to not be a dick. It's the one rule that we have on server as well. Don't be a dick. And, yeah, I don't know. I'll let that go there. Anyway, you might notice a little bit of thievery here. I'm stealing something from the SFW Catalina. I was stealing a little bit of stuff there from the wingy bits on the face, I guess, around the cockpit. So they ended up working out better than I thought. They didn't work at first. It looked really kind of stupid. And note to everybody, make sure you faction and save, especially when you get to a point like this where you've got a lot done. If you haven't saved yet, you need to do it. So right here, we're going to fill out the tail. This actually gets a rework later on. Not a huge one, just a little bit of tweaking. But you need to make sure you're, just sort of making sure everything fits together properly. So, yeah, that's all this is right now. And a little bit ago, you saw me put on a little tail fin, vertical tail fin. And that was just to sort of bulk that area up. It really called for something. It just needed something, a little bit of height there. And so that kind of turned out well. So there we go. And then we've still got the rear engines to do. And it looks like, oh, right, so a little more wingy bits. Always wingy bits. Wingy bits are good. They're a good thing. And if you notice, there's a lot going on the top of this ship and not a lot on the bottom. And that's kind of a problem. Yes, another intake or maybe a gun output. Who knows what that's going to end up being. It just seemed like it needed a bunch of crystals. But you'll notice there's a lot going on the top of this ship, not a whole lot going on the bottom. And the primary reason for that is because the original idea was to put a turret down there. Now, I'm not sure if I want to stick with that or not, or if I want to really detail out the bottom of the ship, or if I want to, do a little bit of detail down there, or a little bit of, how can I say this? A little bit of detail that actually comes outside, right? Outside of the plane of the ship, because right now it's two-dimensional. And if I want to really bring it to 3 dimensions, I'm going to reduce the area that I can put a massive turret on, which was the original thought. But at the same time, it'll look better as a single ship. But it won't work for the giant turret. Now, I haven't built a giant turret yet, but it's on the list of, things to do. So yeah, it's kind of a tough call a lot of times. Yeah. Oh, here's another little tip. Always add a little bit of power and a little bit of thrusters and a little bit of shields. Always. It will save your butt. And box dims for thrusters, as you all know. So I'll shut up for a couple minutes and catch up with you as soon as we're done with this. Alright, now we're going to do a little bit of wedging, try to fill a little bit more of this ship out. Mind you, for those of you that watch this, when one of these videos comes out, I've usually done more on the ship already. It's not against anybody else. I love it when you guys give me ideas, because a lot of times they can still be incorporated in the ship and all. And sometimes they don't work with where I'm going with the ship, but they're still great ideas, and you know, who knows, maybe I'll use it for something else. And feel free, of course, for anybody else, I mean, check out the comments and see if there's a good idea there that might work for one of your ships. You know, I like the idea of sharing, you know, different build ideas. I think that's one of the strengths of a community like StarMates. You know, you can help each other out. That's a really cool thing. It's not something to, you don't need to hoard your ideas. Your ship, maybe you want to have your ship as an exclusive for you. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I do it too. But, or at least to a certain extent. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to do it less. But, you know, while I'm building it, I'm not going to be giving it out. That being said, you know, there is something to be said of, you know, if you have an idea for a ship, heck, share it around, you know? Because what you come up with and what somebody else is going to come up with, I'd say 95% of the time are going to be different. Sometimes it might be kind of similar, but it's still going to have your own personal flair to it. So it'll be different, and that's cool. I mean, helping people out, that's always a plus. That's why I do what I do with the charity live streams, etc., etc. I like it. It's gratifying to me, you know? And speaking of the charity live stream, I'm sorry I had to go during that thing. It was, it got really bad. I just couldn't stay. And I tried for a while there. But we'll be rescheduling it, and hopefully I'll be able to see all y'all there. I've been trying to well, I got a hold of Skylord. I just we didn't really get to talk about it because I needed a few other people around. And by the time all of them were there, I was asleep. I was knocked out. And it is what it is. It might be like that for the next couple days. I might not be releasing videos as often as I normally do, which is I normally try to release, you know, every day. It might be a little slower for a few days, and I know I sound kind of crappy. It's just my voice. I've kind of got a sore throat right now. Need to be drinking more water. So it is what it is, you know. So please try to bear with me for a little while as I kind of get myself back and up and healthy, hopefully. And yeah. So, and I don't want to sound like I'm pathetic, and I don't necessarily expect you guys to you know, wait for me to get better and all that stuff, but it sure would be cool if you did. I'll just say that. Now I'm gonna be trying to release every day. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to try, at least for, you know, just for the rest of the week. It might be a little slow, but then it should pick up back to, you know, what it usually is. I just kind of docs orders and stuff. So anyway, so we just finished up shaping up some of the engines with wedges and corners and stuff like that. There's a trick for building 45s at a 45. I did do a video on that a while back on my channel. You can definitely find it out. It's literally called 45 at a 45. I think it's one of the Devil in the Details videos that I did. And if you guys have any other suggestions for videos like Devil in the Details, or for like little tricks that you guys want to know how to do that maybe you see while I'm building or something like that, tell me. I will gladly do a video on it. I think those little things that are kind of hard to learn to do can be the trickiest, but they're the most helpful because they give you nice clean lines, and they're really, really cool. So if you end up wanting anything like that, ask in the comments, and I will gladly do a video about it. Definitely check out what's already been done, of course, because that'd probably be a good idea, so that you're not asking for something that I've already done. but I haven't done a lot of them, so you know there's a solid chance that I haven't done what it is that you want to do or want to see. So just ask around, and yeah. Also, this is the first bit of, I guess, white detailing I've put on here, and of course this is going to be my traditional black and white design with some tweaks this time, as you'll see in later videos, but just adding in little armor plates here and there. And the whole point of this ship is going to be to escort the Arturius. It's a missile destroyer frigate sort of thing. Basically, it'll have a long range either turret or just inner missile system, sniper missiles, and then the pods on the side with the orange crystal, I believe, will have a whole host of swarm missiles designed for anti-fighter combat, simply to take out a whole bunch of fighters, you know, quickly and efficiently. So it won't have any mid-range stuff, because I wouldn't consider swarm missiles mid-range. They're kind of short-range. But it'll have long-range and short-range, and the Arturius' turret should handle the mid-range. They're also supposed to go out in packs of, you know, groups of 3 or 4 to hunt down smaller targets or even bigger targets together. And that's really where they're hopefully going to shine, and that's what I'm aiming to set up. I'm not really looking forward to doing the logic for it, because logic it's fun, but it's time consuming. But yeah, I'll probably be live streaming more on this one sometime soon. I'm not going to give you an exact date or time, but definitely stay tuned to the channel. I'll try to post a video up maybe an hour before I live stream or so, an hour or two, and say, hey, I'm going to be live streaming at this time, come join. And then, yeah, should be interesting. By the way, those wingy bits, they don't really exist anymore. Or at least, wait, those ones might. I don't remember. I did a lot of tweaks to this thing in the end. But yeah, this is the beginning of the detailing. The next video will be out, oh, I don't know when, sometime soon. But we're getting pretty close to the end of this one. But yeah, so I've just sort of added in a little bit more detailing, and then I realized that essentially this little bit of detailing that I did in white looked a little bit phallic. So I wanted to change it, and you'll see I kind of go about doing that, and I don't think it really worked out that well, but you know. The changes I've done since then make it look a lot better. Anyway, that's going to be it from me, and I'm sorry that this video is maybe not up to my normal quality, but I'm trying here. I'm a little out of it, like I said, but yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot more coming. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time.